We're now into April and spring is definitely upon us. And at the moment, the weather is pleasant. So it's that time of the year again to clean our patios ready for the summer. And in my never-ending pursuit to find the best patio cleaner, this year I'm going to be testing out the Wet and Forget Rapid, which I hope works because it's just cost me a blimmin' fortune. So over the last few years, I've tried most of the patio cleaners on the market, including sodium hypochlorite, which is essentially really strong bleach, which definitely did do the business, other than the fact that it's not particularly child, pet, or garden friendly. So this year, I'm testing out something that a number of viewers actually mentioned in the comments, and that is Wet and Forget. And the one that I'm testing is Wet and Forget Rapid, which is another one of these patio cleaners that promises will get your patio absolutely sparkling without the need for any brushing or scrubbing. Unlike the sodium hypochlorite, this is biodegradable, so should be safe to everyone. And I think this is different to the standard blue version in three ways. First of all, it's a different dilution rate. Secondly, it's got this handy hose attachment at the top, which means you just plug it into your hose and it dilutes at the correct rate as it goes through the nozzle. And thirdly, it's twice the price of the bog standard blue stuff. So I wouldn't call this a cheap option, having paid £40 for it at my local B&Q. So at that price, I'm definitely hoping that this works. As usual, I'll put an Amazon link in the description below where you can have a look at this. And I've just been looking at the instructions. I've noticed it actually comes all the way from New Zealand, which must add a couple of quid to that price. I'm surprised that it comes from the other side of the world. So the two things I am looking forward to is seeing how well this nozzle works. And the other thing is, it seems to suggest that you can spray it anywhere, including your roof and your walls and anywhere that's going a bit green and needs a bit of a clean. So that is definitely something I'm going to try out as well as the patio. It has to be done in dry conditions. It's a lovely day today for it. So let's plug it in and give it a go. When I bought this, I thought the term rapid referred to the speed of the cleaning, but now I realise it's actually called rapid application, meaning you don't have to dilute it down and you don't need your own sprayer to apply. Just plug in the garden hose and go, which does make it easy. And after a few seconds, it starts coming out really sort of frothy, obviously pulling the liquid into the flow, which gives you that sort of warm feeling that it's getting to work on your slabs. You have to apply it to dry paving. There's no need to wet the area first. And it mustn't be raining or be too sunny or else it dries out too quickly. So the instructions say best applied on an overcast day. And that's one of the reasons I'm trying it on this side of the house. It's both in the shade so it doesn't dry out too quickly, and where I get the most algae build-up, because this is the leeward side of my house, which is protected to the wind and therefore tends to be damper and more sheltered. So the algae build-up is a lot more here on the paving and very pronounced. Well, that was actually quite a lot of fun. It's called Rapid, and it definitely is. That only took like 1 minute, and I've covered God knows how many square meters. Now I hope the thing works, because obviously now it has to do its magic. But anyway, putting it on is definitely really easy. So that was so easy. Let's go and find something else to cover. So this product also states it's suitable for cladding and fences. And before I paint this fence again soon, it would be good to be able to get rid of the algae so the paint adheres to it better. While Stuart goes around the garden finding things randomly to spray with Wet and Forget, I'd just like to remind you about my second channel, which is all about tools, called Tools and Effect, where I review all kinds of tools, small to large, giving you my very honest feedback on what I think of them. Including coming up next week, for those of you that aren't into Wet and Forget, and really like using your pressure washer, my review of this, which is my new Ava pressure washer, which I think is going to give Karcher a bit of a run for their money. Literally, I've just got it out of the box and there's a number of features on this which I think are really clever. So have a look at that next week. To make sure you don't miss that video, click on this link which will take you to the tools channel, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of the videos of all the tools you can't afford. Anyway, let's get back to the main video, and you'll find Stuart, for some reason, upstairs with a hose. The other surface that this product says it can be used on is roof tiles. So as one side of my kitchen roof is starting just to show signs of going green, I thought it would be good to give it a spray. It's at this point now which I really hope the nozzle doesn't pop off and cover me with water. That would be difficult, explaining why I've got a garden hose in the bedroom to my wife. This nozzle has a second long-range jet setting which is designed to shoot the mixture 8 metres. So in theory you can clean your roof. I'm not sure if 8 metres is really far enough to cover a standard UK home roof. But if I hang out on my bedroom, I can just about reach this small one. So that's just about all my test areas finished. I've never used a hose in the bedroom before. So I was going to say all we need to do now is wait a day or so and see what sort of results we get. But there is something on the back here that says if the area is really bad, you'll see results somewhere between 6 and 12 months. I haven't got 6 or 12 months to find out the results of this. And they call it rapid. So it's been a couple of days since I put this stuff on the patio, and what worries me a little bit is that bit in the instructions that says for bad areas it can take from 6 to 12 months. Now I'm hoping that's not the case, because if I clean the patio on the Saturday, it's probably because I've got a barbecue on the Sunday. I don't want to be applying it on Christmas Day, hoping that sometime in June everything's going to look nice. So let's just go and have a look, see what we can find. Well, initially it looks better than when I put it down. It's definitely not perfect, but it's not as green. I think we need to have a little look at what this looked like yesterday and do a bit of a before and after. So these are the before and after shots, and it's clear that nearly all of the green tinge caused by the algae growth has now gone. This front section, which gets really bad each winter, is now grey rather than green, although not still 100% clean. One thing I have noticed is in low areas it seems to be still stained, or just stained by the material I put down. That didn't seem to be highlighted yesterday, so that's a bit strange. But a lot of the green has gone and it has a lot of the grey has come back. But if I look at these, you wouldn't say they were ultra clean by any means. They're better than they were, and you see a bit of green here that's still kicking about, but that's better than it was, but still not perfect. Next up is the fence that was really green, and actually the first thing I can see down here is a lot of that green has gone. It's been sort of bleached, it looks sort of bleached now, and even areas here, still a touch of green, but that was really quite covered with algae, and you can even see on this fence post, it looks sort of white now. It's definitely been bleached. If I compare it to the next post down, which was exactly the same, this is what it was like 2 days ago, and now it's just been bleached. So I think that's going to continue. The next one is the roof here, and unfortunately I didn't actually take any before photos, but I did know right up at the ridge there, that was really green. It's not looking as bad, and actually the tiles do look cleaner. This had a sort of slightly green tinge to it, which I can't see now, so definitely got rid of that green. And lastly, this little bit of fence that once again was green does look like it's sort of bleached now. It's gone sort of white compared to what it was like a couple of days ago, which is the same as this. It's all green. So that, I would say that it definitely gets rid of that green algae. So I decided to get out my new pressure washer for two reasons. One, to give it a try, and two, to see how clean the patio actually is. And it doesn't take much to show what the wet and forget forgot to remove. And when I say clean, this is really what I'm expecting to see. And at this point in similar videos I've done in the past, I've received comments that say, Stuart, you should pressure wash first and then apply the cleaner, which I think is defeating the point. If you're going to pressure wash, there's no need to use a cleaner. The whole point of this product is to take away the need to wash or scrub or to put in any effort and just make things easy. The pressure washer brings these slabs up immediately so clean. I'm just thinking that if I'd done this 2 days ago, it would have taken me a little bit longer, but after 30 minutes I would have an absolutely clean paving and an extra £40 in my pocket. So let's just wrap up with my thoughts in this late afternoon sun. And it's not all negative. There's positives and there's negatives. Let's talk about the positives first. Firstly, this is probably the easiest way of putting this type of material on your patio because this is already built in. Just click the hose in and anyone can do it. The second positive is it did get rid of green algae, whether it's be the fence or to a certain extent the patio. It definitely kills that green algae, and I can see that that will work and it will kill more and more probably over the next week or so. However, there are some negatives. Firstly, it's rapid application. It's not rapid as in getting things clean, which is a bit of a shame because if I clean the patio, I want it clean now, ready for a barbecue in an hour's time. The other thing I would say is the final results on my paving is maybe 7 or 8 out of 10, which is actually better than the other patio cleaners I use. But to get it 10 out of 10 and sparkling, I'm still going to end up using one of these, I'm afraid. Maybe with a bit of sodium hypochlorite afterwards, just to really kill anything off. However, if you haven't got a pressure washer and you've got 40 quid, that's another drawback, 40 quid for a little pot like this, then I would recommend it. Maybe better to get the wet and forget blue version, dilute it yourself. It's not as easy to put down, but it's half the price as well. So the choice is yours. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you next time.